Welcome, everyone, to another broadcast of Southern Virginia Athletics from the Knight Sports Arena on the campus of Southern Virginia University as the Knights prepare for tip-off against the York College Spartans. Mike, we just had a difficult game for the Knights women's basketball team. They came away with a loss. The men's team are no slouches either.
No, it's going to be a tough game. Both come in 1-0 in the conference. Someone's going to go out of here 2-0 and really give them a leg up towards getting into that top 6 spots for the Capital Conference tournament.
Well, obviously we've got our preference. We'll see who it ends up being. The Knights maybe a little bit of weak legs after a very long game earlier this week.
Yeah, double overtime game. It's going to be interesting to see how they recover from that, but always playing at home makes it a little bit easier to recover.
Especially when that double overtime game is a victory.
Yes.
So the starting lineup for the York Spartans, number 5, Chris Conway, number 10, Matt Scamuffo, number 24, Mike Duffy, number 34, Dalton Myers, and number 35, Blade Reich. Mike, who do we have for the Knights tonight?
Starting for the Knights tonight, number 11, David Beatty, number 23, Jordan McGuigan, number 30, Kevin Walker, number 45, Justin Langford, and number 10, Anders Jacobson, who in that double overtime game hit his 1,000th point. They honored him today, right before the game, gave him a ball with it being marked on the date that he broke the 1,000-point barrier. Hopefully now all that's gone by the wayside. He's back to playing basketball. His teammates are not trying to do extra things to help him get that 1,000 points. And maybe, just maybe, we can stay out of an overtime game today.
You know, I thought we'd make it all the way to the game without mentioning overtime. I mentioned it the last 2 times, and lo and behold, we ended up having them. But as long as it's a victory, I guess we'll take it.
Yeah, again, David Beatty told us in one of the first interviews we did that he thinks that this team can make it to the conference tournament. Going 2-0 in the conference to open up with would be a tremendous lift for them going into the Christmas break.
Absolutely. And on a good note, we'll see if they can pull that off today. Also worth noting, Anders Jacobson, one of only 6 scorers in Knight history to hit 1,000 points. The number 1 point scorer also in the building tonight, Bryce Pendleton, number 1 overall in scoring over there in the corner as well. We get ready for tip-off. David Beatty and Dalton Myers.
Oh, looks like that could have been a foul to begin with.
At the very, very start.
Knights starting out in their man-to-man. And again, we got McGuigan starting tonight and have Aaron Rumbach coming off the bench.
Steal right off the bat by Walker. And connects immediately with Jordan McGuigan. Great start for the Knights. And losing the handle on that one.
Well, it looks like the Spartans start out in a little flex cut action and then try to spread the floor.
The Knights flying around on defense, but a great look from the top of the key, no good. The Knights bringing it back and another opportunity. Over
got
to
a
Jacobson.
zone look here by the Spartans.
Yeah, not sure if the Knights were expecting that or not. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Beatty. Nails it from up top. Great start for the Knights, now up 5-0. And hitting their first couple of shots.
You know, and this is a different start than we've seen in the last 2 home games for the Knights. They started out cold. In this game, they've come out hot as a firecracker.
And very tight on the defensive end as well. Stepping in. Now 10 seconds left for the Spartans to shoot. And the elbow jumper is good for Chris Conway. And pressure applied. Ooh, Beatty able to get a handle on that one.
You know, with the ball handlers that the Knights have, I think we just see token pressure. I don't know if you want to all-out pressure them with Kevin Walker there and Anders and David.
Kevin Walker finds the basket on that one. He had a huge night the other night, 30 points in that double overtime win. The Knights 3 baskets by 3 different players as well. Nice to see them spread it around. And
first foul on David, only 2.5 minutes in.
yeah, David Beatty collected fouls quickly the other night and then was able to stay in the game despite them. You'd love to see him avoid the foul trouble altogether, especially in a situation like that where you don't really get much for it.
Good hands.
Good pressure applied, and Justin Langford swats the ball away from behind. Anders Jacobson now handling for the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights defense is forcing a lot of difficult angles on the passes.
Jacobson doubles behind his back twice. And they're going to call that foul Blade Reich his first.
Yeah, anytime you put 2 hands on the ball handler, that's going to be an automatic foul.
Foul apiece early on in this contest. Beatty with the inbound and gives to Jacobson. Good defense. Walker for 3. Short. Langford tries to track it down, can't quite get there.
A little bit of a heat check there for Walker. He came out, hit his first shot. He's like, hey, this is continuing on from the last game.
I apologize, by the way, I've been corrected. Spencer Kimball, number 1 in points for the Knights. I apologize for that oversight. Bryce is definitely over 1,000. I think he's number 2.
1,300.
He's certainly no slouch himself.
And what a prolific three-point shooter he was.
Oh, absolutely. And that foul call against McGuigan.
Yeah, that kind of three-point shooting is something that if he could magically bottle that and give it to the women's team, they would be in so much debt to him.
And the tap out on that, but it will stay with the Spartans. I remember a young lady here not too many years ago that was quite the prolific three-point shooter for the Knights as well.
Yeah, we've had a few, but you'd always want more, right?
Great baseline move that time by Conway. He's got all the points. And a quick answer by Justin Langford. Knights leading 9-4. And good ball movement by the Spartans. Strong move at the baseline, but there it is. That's Chris Conway. He'll get his first foul. Subs immediately coming in. That is Brad Wessner and Zach Galick.
And again, a lot of these little hand checks and pushes off in between the top of the keys on either end going to be called very quickly. We haven't seen how they're going to call it in the post yet, though.
Top of the key to Langford. Good inside pass to Beatty. Back to Jacobson. Just off the mark.
You see the Knights all retreating, trying to make sure they get back to stop any kind of run out that the Spartans may get.
Very tight defense. All 6 points now for the Spartans over to Chris Conway.
Now, he might be the one you want to focus a little bit of attention on, but Kevin Walker played some great defense on him, kept him in front.
Yeah.
Tough shot.
Able to convert anyway. Quick touch pass inside. It goes awry. Langford goes down and is hustling back now. And a push.
Yeah. Great job by Kevin Walker.
He'll get a breather. Aaron Rumbaugh coming in for him.
And Aaron used to be a starter. They made the adjustment to bring him off the bench because they wanted some extra scoring punch to come off the bench and try to help him out with some of those bench points.
Good defense by Langford, but the basket's still good for Dalton Myers. The press is on for the moment. The Knights able to break it. Jacobson swinging up top to Beatty. Just in the game is Rumbaugh. And shot just long for McGuigan. And here come the Spartans. Costello now with the handle for the Spartans. That three-pointer is good for Brad Wessner.
We watch on the defensive end for the Spartans. They switch every screen, and the Knights can really take advantage of it with their pick-and-roll game if they cleared everybody out off one side.
Spartans take their first lead of the game on that. Langford. Lots of fighting for that. And keeping it in bounds is York. Langford not to allow it on the other end, and whoo.
Oh, and they're going to say it went out off of Anders. Wow, and you usually do not see that a lot of Anders Jacobson getting pushed on the offensive end and then pushed on the defensive end without a foul being called.
Yeah, that's a media timeout, so if that's something that you folks aren't used to at home, it's not something that we typically do here on campus, but something that York brings along with them. We will have media timeouts today at 14 minutes and 7 minutes at the first stoppage of play after each of those margins in each half.
Yeah, again, that takes some getting used to if you're not used to that. York, like you said, they bring it with them because they have their sponsors and they've contractually obligated to do that. This may slow the tempo down a little bit that the Knights might not want to have, but great use of opportunities so when they go play at York, they're ready to do it.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if Tony Caputo would have wanted a timeout. Then you've held a pretty big lead, and then they've come back and taken it from you. So I could see it going either way. On the one hand, it's, well, you want to stop the hemorrhaging, talk it over a little bit, but on the other, you want to retaliate quickly and take the lead back. I don't know. It could cut either way.
Yeah, but those are two timeouts that you can plan on, so you can strategically use your other timeouts at better opportunities and better times.
Well, the most recent call there under the basket, I'm going to say it. It looked pretty rough on Anders Jacobson there. Thought they were going to come over with a foul call, but not so. Quite the opposite. It'll be York ball.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of rough play in the post, and that was supposed to be one of the emphasis this year, is to clean up everything in the lane.
And that's going to be the foul and one. Rumbaugh. No, Cale Thornton.
Yeah, first play in the game.
That's the basket, good for Noble, or excuse me, for Conway. And the free throw as well gives him 9 points. He is really running them up so far in this first half.
Oh, nice
Rumbaugh
drive.
up and stuffs it.
No rotation on defense by the York Spartans, and Rumbaugh takes advantage of it.
Yeah, good recognition. And as you said, takes it when it's there. And that shot up and good for Wesner. 5 points for Wesner now. Good help that time by McGuigan.
Aaron a little bit excited on that one pass and a shot, and I don't know if that's something that Coach Caputo would want to have happen often.
Spartans now with possession. Oh, good loft over the top. May have gotten away with a little bit of a push there. Uncharacteristic for Beatty to be that far away from his man.
Yeah, but that's something that both teams are going to have to adjust to, that rough style of play in the post that these referees are allowing.
And coming back the other way after another quick shot. The Knights struggling a bit.
Yeah, they've gone cold. Started off so hot on their first couple shots.
They did. And the basket good that time, Blade Wright.
And they've found something that works, and they're going to keep on going back to it. Reich has some really nice footwork in the post.
Knights really need a basket. Slips, but able to get it out to Thornton. Tries to find Thornton back inside.
Yeah, tried to force that ball.
Yep, it was good hedge by Beatty, though, to prevent the fast break. Spartans content to work it around a little bit and losing possession there. Rumbaugh out front.
Traveled with it. Yeah, the defense that the Spartans are playing is really confusing the Knights. It's a switching defense. It's also a pack defense, so everybody's playing the ball handler more than they are playing their own man, and it's really causing some disturbances with the flow of the offense for the Knights.
Well, and they started off, as you mentioned, very hot, but more recently have just not gotten as good a looks as they did in those first few minutes. The Spartans reacting a bit more on defense, perhaps. Very physical down low.
There you go.
Yeah, I like the sport coat look better than like the polo anyway.
Yeah.
But, we can coordinate. Apparently, we're good, so we're going to go back on here.
I don't have any.
As long as he's got it. Welcome back out of the second media timeout. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Sorry about that, but we are back on. The lead now 9 points for the York Spartans. Make that 6. Anders Jacobson, his first basket of the game, and it's a big one. At a time the Knights could really use it.
Well, we were making the comment earlier that Knights really don't know how to play with the lead. They much rather play from behind, which could take the toll on them as the season gets longer.
Well, if that's the case, they have the benefit of being behind right now, but hopefully closing that margin a little more as they hope to go on a run. Boy, some hopping and stepping and getting through there by Scamifo. Oh, good kick. Maybe that extra pass. Good inside move and the easy basket.
Good slip the screen by Rumbaugh.
I was worried maybe a little too much pass. Beatty was open, would have liked to see him take that, but it ends up with a much more high percentage basket right in the middle of the lane. And air ball that time.
Oh, they're going to call Porter. Oh, I'm going to say he stepped underneath him.
Zach Porter called for the foul, his second. I saw that a little differently, but that's just me. First free throw is good for Blade Reich. Unofficially 5 points on the game so far for him. And connects on them both.
Little extracurricular activity going on there on the free throw line.
Yeah, a little bit. Jacobson in a mismatch. Down the lane and over the big man. Jacobson out to 5 points here just in the last couple of minutes. Now the Knights could use a stop to try to cut into this lead a bit more. And get one. Good defense by Beatty, bodying up, not committing the foul.
They call him that little hop. Beatty got a little bit leaning one way. May have had help in leaning that one way, but on the other end, great job on the defensive end by Beatty, making sure that he stayed straight up. He had Reich pushed up against underneath the basket and just didn't give him any room to move.
Knights perhaps trying to get a little too fancy. And a little slip as well didn't help.
And they're going to take two hands on it with Langford. I thought Langford took it right in the chest.
They were saying that Justin Langford picks up his second foul. And York will bring in a sub, Mike Duffy, who will relieve Colin Costello.
Yeah, I thought Justin took that one right in the chest when he made that spin move. I didn't see any hands on him at all.
Yeah, that's, I'll tell you, there's been a lot of contact created by number 34, Dalton Myers, for the Spartans, and he's been the beneficiary of a lot of calls as a result of that, as he makes the first.
Well, and, you know, that's what smart players do, is they understand what the referees are going to call, what they're not going to call, and then they play to that level of aggression that's allowed.
Myers makes both. The lead back to 8. Walker finds Beatty. Once again, welcome back. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Now just under 2 minutes away from halftime. The Knights trailing by 8. And a kick. The ball will stay at this end.
Well, when we went off air, due to the technical difficulties, the score was 27-33. So you can see only 2 points have been scored in those few minutes. Unfortunately, it's not for the Knights.
The foul starting to pile up as well. That one, good look inside. The high arcing shot still being bobbled around. Walker able to reset for Southern Virginia.
That's smart, being able to bring it back out, set up what you want.
Got very outnumbered underneath, so. And it will stay with the Knights on that. Great hustle play. Adamson able to deflect it off of the Spartan player. Walker inbounds to Beatty. 15 left on the shot clock.
And everybody ran away from David Beatty. Why not step up and hit the three?
If you're going to give it to me. And the lead is at 5 with a minute left. Knights would love to cut it down even further.
Oh, nice.
And a block.
Oh.
And a block. The call underneath the basket. Anders Jacobson, his second. That's a big call.
Yeah, Anders got his feet there in plenty of time, but he did turn his chest a little bit, and that's where he lost the call. And what the referee was looking at, wasn't looking at the feet, just looking at his upper body, and unfortunately it went against us.
Zach Galick in the game, and Rumbaugh as well for the Knights now. Free throw no good. Beatty comes up with it. With a full head of steam.
Nice
good
back
look.
door.
So coy, like he's driving it the whole way. And then just that soft bounce pass to Rumbaugh. The Knights with the lead at 5. Excuse me, trailing by 5. They will get another. Oh. And
that's okay. He can be right there on him.
Walker really not happy. He took a shot on that one, is bleeding, and is called for the foul.
Hey, we got 4 guys on the court. There's 4 guys on the court.
So a 5th player now checking in for the Knights for Winslow as Walker. Clearly an appropriate call because Walker fouled him with his face.
Well,
so
the explanation was you got your face right here. Well, you can occupy your own space as long as you're not infringing on someone else's physical space. So it's not a closely guarded issue. That's something the referees need to look in the rule book to find.
Walker pretty hot about it, and justifiably so. The Knights now can hold for the last shot. Trailing by 6, 10 seconds. Beatty. And York to come back. And no basket. The Knights trailed the York College Spartans 32-38 going into the half, and Walker still very justifiably upset about that situation.
Yeah, anytime you catch an elbow, that's a dangerous play. If we were showing this with monitors for the whole game, they could come over and check that, and that would have been a flagrant foul and possible ejection. But the explanation by the referee of, he was right here and very close to that elbow doesn't matter unless he's just saying that's a natural basketball play.
Yeah, very difficult pill to swallow. We'll see how the Knights are able to rebound coming out for the second half. We'll be back for that in about 15 minutes. Once again, the Knights trailing 38-32, the York College Spartans at the halftime. Stick around, folks. Welcome, everyone, to the second half of the Southern Virginia Knights men's basketball team hosting the York College Spartans. Mike, we've been reviewing the first half stats, and there's some doozies on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of discrepancies, especially with the free throws attempted and made by both teams. The Knights 1 for 1, 100%.
100%, shooting a better percentage.
The York Spartans, 13 of 16. That's what's given them this large lead. And then the foul situation, 6 called on the Spartans, 12 called on the Knights. The Spartans are doing a great job of getting the ball into the post and trying to force the action. The Knights look like they've tried to avoid a little bit of contact, but other than that, things are pretty much even.
Yeah, pretty close across the board. The Knights leading in assists 5-2 and steals 5-2. But besides that, as you mentioned, everything pretty darn close.
Well, but when you get to the free throw line 16 times in one half, as opposed to one time for your opponent, you're going to have some great opportunities. And Kevin Walker trying to take it into his own hands.
Take it right to the chest, force that foul call. And that's going to be Chris Conway called for that foul, his second. And this will triple the number of free throws the Knights have taken in the game today, just in the first 12 seconds of the second half. And still 100%. Walker, I mentioned 30 points in the last contest early in the week.
2 points in this game. And now 3 points.
3 now, yeah.
So he's a multiple of 10 under.
No longer. That was a multiple of 7 point something. That lead at 4. Spartans looking to work it down low. Worked out a lot for him in the first half, but now go outside. And Walker, motivated perhaps by that jarring end of the first half.
Yeah, and if you have someone that scored 30 points in their last game and they've only scored 2 against you, do not poke the bear.
Yeah, this sleeping giant, as it were.
Oh, nice slip.
Yeah, Langford comes free inside. Now just 4 points for Justin Langford as well. The Knights several scoring weapons that have not done much so far. If they come alive, it will spell bad things for the Spartans as the lead now at 2. Good feed down low. And
it must be
shot.
that end of the floor where they're not calling any fouls.
Must be. Jacobson now spinning, kicking to Beatty. Oh, nice feed underneath. Langford with the shot, unable to make it fall. Mike Duffy with possession for the Spartans.
Maybe Buddy the Elf down there is causing all the non-calls.
It could be. Oh, that looked like a walk to me, but not so much. And 2 players fighting for it on the same team.
That was a call in the first game, not this game, the first game.
Yes, the women's game today. Langford tries to get the rebound, but doesn't pick up the foul.
Yeah, you saw him back up very quickly.
Yep. It could have been, but was not that foul. Duffy again. Working to Scamafo. Who drives and is suffocated. 7 seconds left. Gonna have to find something. And it will stay with York College with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, they have to look for either a screen going out, but once the screen's set, slipping to the basket might be something that is we don't want to look at.
3 seconds, it's in, it's up.
Shot.
It's a good look. Oh, Langford.
And it's going to stay.
Langford wrestles it away. Beatty tries to bring it in, but cannot, and the possession is prolonged.
Forced a long shot there and just couldn't finish off the possession with a rebound.
So York resets. Tight defense by Beatty. Over to the corner. Goes baseline. The far corner, and Beatty pulls this one down with authority. No chance of losing it this time. The Knights with an opportunity to tie or take the lead on this possession. It's been a long time since they have been this close. Langford too strong. And it's a rare thing that you see a guard called for a foul going up for a rebound over a center, but hey, here we are.
And, you know, going back to how the Knights scored those first 2 points in the first 12 seconds, take the ball, drive it strong to the basket.
Yeah.
They've gotten away from that, and here we sit still 36-38.
Well, and the man that did that, Walker, just went to the bench with that third foul. So Knights will have to find someone else to maintain that aggression. And Coach Caputo calling for an over the back.
Well, the one way you can make sure that they're coming over your back is when you box them out, take one more step back with them. That way their body bends and it's obvious then.
Does stay on this end of the floor. Good delayed shot off the glass by Reich. Knights looking to respond quickly. Beatty looked like he was going to step into the shot, but instead clears out to Jacobson. Rumbaugh drives. And that's going to be a third foul on Mike Duffy, starter for the Spartans, who has 1 point so far today. Substitutions, Brad Wesner, Colin Costello checking in. Inbound just beats the 5-second clock.
Now there's a major mismatch there. They just clean things out, let
Beatty.
Anders go to town.
Ooh. Rough connection there. Oh, and a reach through. And a nice soft touch as Aaron Rumbaugh elevates. Kevin Walker getting ready to check back in with 3 fouls. Definitely showed in the game against Marymount his ability to play with fouls and not pick up the critical one as the backdoor cut works out for Matt Scamuffo.
There's someone that can go to the basket. Haven't seen Anders do a lot on the offensive end, and maybe this will wake him up a little bit and get him more aggressive.
Yeah, Costello just came into the game, and he picked up a 3rd foul. Walker and Thornton coming back in for Southern Virginia. 4-point lead. Both teams very cool so far in this half. 6 and 4 points respectively. And the teardrop
floater.
falls. It's starting to come up well for Rumbaugh, who's now got 10 points, leading the way for the Knights. Mike, you talk about scoring off the bench. He's provided it in this game. That lift might just be enough to tie them up here on the next couple of possessions. Swinging it around. And very short. Looking to run, Jacobson. Backdoor to Rumbaugh. And that same shot from a different angle. And we are tied at 42 apiece as Rumbaugh now with 12 to lead all scores.
Again, Rumbaugh, very athletic game. Will get down to the baseline within about 8 foot and just throwing that little teardrop up. So far, they haven't done anything to stop it.
Yeah, he just elevates so high, he just kind of hangs in the air and waits for everyone else to come down. And then puts up his shot. Substitutions, Chris Conway and Zach Galick coming in for the Spartans. Conway with 2 fouls, Galick with none.
And this is kind of where the mark in the games that we've seen the Knights go on some runs to get back even with some teams. They're already even now, so if they can continue these runs now to the end of the game, it would be really well for the Knights to get out with a win in regulation.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, and a charge.
Offensive foul.
Walker took that right in the chest.
2 games in a row where Kevin Walker has stepped in on an important charge, picking up that one. And that's Colin Costello. Excuse me, that is Matt Scamuffo. Called for the foul, his first. Boy, whew, been a good start to this second half for the Knights, closing that gap and getting some good calls.
Yeah, Kevin did a great job of moving his feet, making sure he had established his position. You don't have to be completely set, but you have to be moving in your own lane. He was there and took that shoulder directly into the chest. A little bit different than what we saw with Anders Jacobson in the first half,
right,
where he didn't take it squarely in the chest, even though he was set.
Well, and another critical difference, I think, at this end of the floor, 3 seconds left on the shot clock. You know they're going to have to put it up.
Yes.
If you get in the way, he can't pull out, and find a better way to, reset. It's done. He's got to go. And so you've got that advantage of knowing he's going to either have to stop and try to shoot over you, or gaming him that he's going to go through, which is exactly what he did.
Well, and again, Kevin Walker doing a great job of moving his feet and taking in the chest, not reaching with his hands. That's what so many players want to do. The shot clock's down under 5. three in that instance, and they just want to reach with their hands, try to poke the ball. Kevin just making sure that he stayed between man and basket, doing everything he can to make a hard shot as possible, and then creating the foul.
And able to do exactly that. We are at 14-12 here in the second half, so that was a timeout taken by the Spartans, but we will have another timeout, unless I'm mistaken for the, excuse me, that was the media timeout. Right about on time. Now 14 apiece. Jacobson brings it up. It is the first opportunity for the Knights to take the lead. And just barely off. Great rebound. Off the glass, no good by Rumbaugh.
Yeah, Rumbaugh trying to use a little jump hook off the glass. Maybe he should have just tried to go straight into the basket. He's had success with that with his last 3 shots.
The Spartans now trying to regain the lead. Oh, and just too easy. Good find that time. Zach Galick, his first points of the game.
Well, you saw the big monster trap coming. That's when the post players trapped the other post player, and no one rotated back to take Galick.
Jacobson to an open Walker. And that is the lead for Southern Virginia. The sleeping giant may have awoken with Walker, who's already playing better this half. And the Knights lead by 1.
It looks like Walker just has to get frustrated or get punched in the face to get him motivated to play. Great defense by Jacobson.
In and out. Beatty with the rebound. The Knights now looking to extend. Moving it up quickly to Walker. Oh, good look over to Thornton. Threw him off a little bit. Off the glass too strong. Walker on the backside, the no-look pass. Just off the mark. The Spartans now with the opportunity to take the lead. Looking to slow it down a little bit. The energy in here with the Knight fans ramping up significantly.
Kick ball. And even though the scores aren't up in the mid-60s right now, this is an excellently played game defensively. Both teams giving body blows to each other.
Yeah, very evenly matched so far.
And again, someone's going to go out of here 2-0 in the conference. Some will be 1-1, and that extra game, the winning is something that you always want.
Beatty sensing that pass that's hurt him earlier, able to break it up that time, and then find that silky smooth pass to Rumbaugh. Now 14 to lead all scores.
You know, the Knights are trying to do what it takes to be a contender in the conference, is make sure you win all your home games.
Oh my goodness.
And that's got to be a foul on.
How is that?
Oh no, he pushed off with his elbow.
That was.
Wow, they're just not watching what's happening upstairs.
And that's Kevin Walker's 4th foul.
No, I think they called that. Oh, they called it on Kevin?
They did.
That should have been on Anders. I think they're going to change it. No, they're not.
That was absolutely absurd. I mean, you want to talk about a push-off and an armbar by the offensive player. That's textbook. And to give that 4th to Kevin, wow. Cale Thornton called for the foul. His 3rd now. And that is Jace Edmonds checking in to the lineup.
Well, again, this game is flowing one way and the other way too fast. The players really can't get a read on what's going to be called and what's not.
Yeah, quite the seesaw. Oh.
So we've had 3 fouls here in the last 30 seconds.
Even less than that at game time. This is, I don't know what to say, Mike.
Aaron, play him in the flat. Aaron, play him in the flat. Aaron.
This
Winslow's first.
Aaron, play him in the flat. Flat. Stay in.
Oh, that was a
where's
walk.
the travel? Right in front of the referee. What is going on?
These referees have
Thornton comes up with it. And that's going to be a foul on Blade Reich, his second. And a conversation now between a referee.
They may be coming to talk to you.
I had a feeling that was probably going to be the case.
If you raise your hand again, you're gone. You? Yeah. That's what he said, but I don't even know if he can.
He can't. We're not part of the table.
Yeah, I would love.
He can do whatever he wants. We're not part of the table. Only you can. It's the same guy that tried to talk 15 years ago. It's the same thing. It's ridiculous. I didn't say a word to him. I just walked away and came over there. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. 47-44. The Knights leading. 14 seconds. Skip pass to the outside.
Great defensive stand by the Knights. And a turnover.
Knights come up with that one. Perhaps the short shot clock getting in the minds of the Spartans a little bit.
Well, also the way the Knights were playing defense, there are a lot of feet being moved, making sure that they stayed between basket and the ball. Very frustrating to play against.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams a little bit frustrated at this point. Both have had small leads and tried to extend them and had them come right back. Great spin move by Jacobson.
Oh, and they're going to call him for a walk.
So that's a walk.
But,
all right.
Well, we're learning now.
Been 47-44 for a little while here. And the Spartans now to bring it up. Duffy.
Nice.
Oh.
Again, great defense by Jacobson, moving his feet, making sure that Conway has no place to go.
Yeah. Out of sorts a little bit. The Knights ratcheting up the defensive pressure.
And again, very reminiscent of past games that the Knights have played.
It is.
Spartans go into a zone.
Oh, able to clear that. Dangerous pass, but it works out. 10 seconds. Good look inside.
Oh,
and
great.
Off the glass. Jace Edmonds, his first basket of the game. And the Knights up 5. Working through Reich. Back to Duffy, who drives. Kellen Winslow called for that foul, his second. His minutes to foul ratio fairly high.
Watch for the screen.
Good pass down low, but good adjustment.
Foul on Rumbaugh. His first.
It is his first. His foul to point ratio very high.
Very high now.
14-1.
And that's saying something in today's game.
It is. It is indeed. Off the mark.
So we can term that to be a good foul since they only have a chance to gain maybe 1 point on it if the Knights box out and grab the rebound.
Fairly automatic. It would have been down low, but the foul preventing it, now 1. And it just became a very good foul, as it's basically trading a foul for a turnover.
Especially with only your first.
Up and underneath, Rumbaugh just fighting. And the bounce does not drop. York College coming back the other way.
Well, it'd be nice to see the Knights, make another stop and then get on a little mini offensive run, extend this 5-point lead to a double-digit lead, and then we could probably rest a little bit easier. There you go.
There's the offensive foul.
That's got to be almost an intentional. They're going to talk about the throwing the.
Yeah, that was
Here they come.
That was a pretty big elbow on that one. And
they're just going to call it a common foul.
As a common offensive foul. It's the second elbow to the face of a Knight. At least this time the foul went against the other team.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're talking about the first half that Kevin Walker fouled somebody with his face.
Yeah.
There you go, Kyle Thornton.
The stick back with Cale Thornton, elevating and putting it down. 7-point lead for the Knights. I believe the biggest lead of the game for them, Mike.
And the big man got a run from the top of the key. Nobody put a body on him.
And that'll wake the crowd up. In and out. And that one will send Reich to the free throw line. Rumbaugh, who had just his first pretty recently, picks up a second pretty quickly.
And the bench warning on the Spartans just happened.
Oh.
So neither side is really enamored with the refereeing in this game.
It's true. First free throw good by Reich. I should mention it's also not just the benches. Several folks around here, we can see the bad calls today whiteboard in the crowd now at 15. And both free throws good for Reich. And a full timeout taken by the Spartans as the lead is now at 5.
Well, that's how big that stick back was for Thornton, was maintaining this 5-point lead. But again, the Knights have done a pretty good job on the defensive end, moving their feet lately, keeping in front of the offensive players of the Spartans. Just need to find a little bit more rhythm on offense, and if they can extend this 5-point lead into double digits, it's going to be very hard for the Spartans to foul the Knights and try to make a comeback, because the Knights do shoot free throws extremely well.
Well, and we've talked a lot about momentum and energy throughout sports this season, football particularly, but boy, something like that, just that powerful, flashy play to throw down to get a big lead, it energizes your team. You feel like the lead is bigger than it is. You feel unstoppable for that short time after that. And so hopefully that emotion is something that they can build off of, that the crowd can build off of, that energy, just momentum fuels more in your direction.
Yeah, and that's something that you want to follow up on. You don't want to let that go too long without having some other, just a score to happen. If you do, then that momentum that you talked about, or that feeling of invincibility, starts to diminish, and it plays back into the Spartans' hands.
Well, and the two free throws there help that a little bit. You get the points, but perhaps not as emphatically. You get 2 points for the free throws, you get 2 points for the dunk, but as far as the energy it puts in you and the air it takes out of your opponents, not on equal terms.
And the Spartans come out in a little bit of a full court press. Back into a zone.
It's Nate Adamson at point now for the Knights.
And it took a long time for the Knights to get into their set. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock now.
Yeah, really looking. Adamson now under 5. Beatty way long. And Walker gathers the long rebound and resets. Knights look content to slow play just a little bit, take a little air out of the ball.
Well, you always want to, when you have the lead, you always want to go in and try to make sure that you get the best shot possible.
Nursing the lead of 5. Shot clock under 10. And no call, but the bucket drops.
Walker tried to create the contact. Looked like he did.
He did.
They just weren't going to call it.
And
maybe they can't see him down there.
Not relying on the referee that time. He'll get the points whether he gets the call or not. Knights by 7, just under 7 to play. And the turnaround is good. Reich mishandled the initial ball, but able to sufficiently get the shot up.
Well, and for the next 6.5 minutes, we'll trade baskets with them. That's no problem.
Sure. As long as you can continue to do that, absolutely.
Oh, it looks like Anders got pushed off a little bit.
And the run out, Dalton Myers now has 12 on the afternoon.
And again, it's very hard to push Anders Jacobson off of his route.
Oh! And all the way home, David Beatty, now with a fairly quiet 10 points for the Knights. And the pull-up is good for Wesner. He's got 7.
And all of a sudden, the ball is falling for everybody.
Yeah. Now a lead of 3. Oh. Great breaking of the press. Jacobson goes baseline.
Wow, and you just got to feel for Anders going in as hard as he can, getting knocked around.
So much contact. I don't understand.
Like I said, he plays like a fullback, and usually when he goes in, it's either going in the basket or there's a foul called.
Outlet pass. And they're going to call that foul on Kevin Walker while he's on the ground.
One of those unfortunates that they...
What in the world is going on? 5 fouls, Walker's done.
Run ball be coming in for him. Looks like we're at the media timeout.
The under 7 timeout. And the explanation now.
Well, again, it's one of those unfortunate things, just like in a walk where if you come down with it and you get your feet knocked out from under you, you land on the floor. That's an automatic walk. Kevin Walker was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, had the guy come down on his back, and yet gets called for the foul. That's just one of those unfortunate situational fouls that has to be automatic.
He's had several unfortunate fouls go against him today. So let's review. At least of the 5 he's got 1 for a man landing on his back, and he's got 1 for taking an elbow to the face.
Well, he fouled the guy's elbow with his face. So that's
right. We explained that one already. But tough pill to swallow.
In other CAC action going on today, Salisbury's at Frostburg State on the men's side, and Salisbury's leading 51-24. We have Penn State Harrisburg at Mary Washington, and Mary Washington is leading 60-34, and both of those are in the second half, late in the second half, under 10 minutes. Also, Wesley is at St. Mary's, just starting in the first half. 6 minutes to go in the first half, and Wesley's up at 21-13.
It's always fun to see early in the season where you think you have a sense of how good everybody is, but it's really too early to tell, and everybody trying to make a name for themselves early and make sure they're at the top of the table looking down rather than the bottom of the table looking up.
Well, again, the big key is, can you win at home? If you can defend your home court, that's 8 wins that you have going into the Capital Conference tournament selection, or if you qualify for it.
Goes a long way. Duffy, good on the first. I believe only his 2nd point today. So obviously the first coming at the line as well. And makes the 2nd. Lead now down to 1. Walker on the bench with 5 fouls. Knights are going to have to find a way to do it without him.
Yeah, it looks like the Spartans are trying to extend their defense a little bit. And there's the foul. And now the Knights will be in the 1-and-1 the rest of the way.
Looks like that is on Duffy. That's his 4th. And that will earn him a trip to the bench. Brad Wesner in the lineup for the Spartans.
So now are we going to get down into free throw shooting? Both teams are in the 1-and-1. Under 5 minutes to go. these fouls that will be accumulated now will really be telling on who's going to step forward in this game.
Well, Duffy able to hit them both at the other end. Puts pressure on Adamson, who goes 1 for 2 on this end, meaning the Spartans can tie or take the lead. Long cross-court pass and the baseline move. And the roll for Wesner. And we are tied again at 56 apiece. Never such thing as a blowout in a men's basketball game here. There is no such thing.
Well, it keeps it thrilling and keeps the fans coming back.
It does. Beatty over the top to Jacobson.
Nice screen.
Shot clock winding down, very low. Air ball coming back the other way. And now the Spartans looking to slow down.
And that might be one of the things that caused the Knights to lose this lead, is slowing down, trying to make sure they, and 10-second call.
Coach Hunter is beside himself with that. And you could tell the point guard trying to get the message in from the coach calling a play, and the result is not crossing the line in time.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything today.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the first timeline violations we've seen all season on the men's side.
And unpressured.
Unpressured.
I mean, it wasn't forced. Fighting for position down in the block. Under 10 seconds. Adamson goes to Beatty. Oh, and the patience pays off. That's the second time. That is the second time that Beatty, with the shot clock winding down, doesn't take the shot, instead goes for the last second pass.
And this may be one of those games where whoever has the ball last has the chance to win.
And Beatty, that's a good call. Beatty got him on the arm that time. Only David Beatty's second foul,
yes. Though. And again, once you see a defender's arm start going side to side, more times they're going to be called on the foul than going straight up.
Reich has done well from the free throw line today already, and adds to that.
And again, it's going to be interesting to see the free throw differential at the end of this game. It just seems like the Spartans have done a better job of manufacturing opportunities at the free throw line.
Reich, 1 for 2. Deflection goes off, though. And the possession is preserved. Thornton.
And that's 4 on Cale Thornton.
And a timeout taken by Coach Caputo. Wants to talk it over.
Trying to find out if it's going to be a 30 or full. It's a full timeout now. So a lot of strategy will be discussed right now. Not only, we need to make sure we get the rebound on this free throw if it's missed, but what are they going to do offensively in their next 2 or 3 possessions, being up 1, being down 1, or being tied?
Yeah, there's so many scenarios. It's difficult to coach for all of them, but I think you start with the most likely. You start with the governing principles you got to know, and go from there.
Well, the first thing he's going to talk to him about is make sure we get the rebound on a free throw. That is one of the cardinal mistakes. The Knights could have been down here on the offensive end, still being up by 1. Now there's a chance not only to be down, but you have the 4th foul on Thornton.
Right.
And the way the Knights have been going to overtime, they're going to make sure they need a lot of bodies going into this last 2 minutes and 54 seconds of the game.
Well, the Knights needed a lot of bodies, certainly against Marymount. Ended the game with, I think it was 4 different people with 4 fouls. Nobody fouling out of that game, but they lost that luxury long ago.
Yes, when
Walker picked up the 5th foul. So besides that, Thornton in trouble with 4. But besides that, by my count, nobody with more than 2. Jacobson 2, Beatty 2, Porter 2, Kellen 2.
I got Justin Langford with 3, but maybe I am wrong.
Oh, could be. Even that, 3's pretty good at this point in the game. And tying it up, Matt Scamafo. 58 apiece. Rebound, and Beatty.
Emphatically, and that's what needed to happen on that first free throw.
Yeah, leave nothing to chance.
So here we go, Art. Settle in for the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Tie ball game. It's going to be a good one.
Quickly already down to 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Knights. Beatty. So little give behind off. And the Spartans.
And I don't know if that was the shot that the Knights were looking for. Could be. We haven't been to their practices and all, but
it was an intentional screen to go over the top. Not a bad shot, but as you mentioned, not perhaps what they were wanting to get. Thornton fighting in the blocks and can only do what he can do, considering he's got those 4 fouls. So tough for him to put up too much of a fight down there at the risk of fouling out of the ball game.
So here we are now with the Knights under 2 minutes to go. They're going to have to run some great offense now, make sure that they are very efficient offensively. It'd be nice to see them get the shot and the free throws, put them back up by 2. Offensively, you know where the Spartans are wanting to go. They're wanting to go down low. They think they have a great opportunity down there with especially Myers and Wright, and they have done a good job so far.
Well, right now it's all about creating stops, because it doesn't matter how many points you score. If you're trading baskets, you're done. So the Knights are going to have to find some way to either contest shots, not allow the Spartans to get good looks, and pull down rebounds or create turnovers.
Well, defensively, they probably need to pack it in some. The Spartans aren't great three-point shooters, but they're deadly inside the paint.
Certainly showed that today so far. Elbow shot. Aaron Rumbaugh, 16 points on the night. Ties the game at 60 again. Very impressive mid-range jumper.
And again, the Spartans are going to want to try to go down low. The Knights probably need to come down double team from someplace.
There's Cale Thornton. Oh, good look. And the basket, good. It was a good cut.
Yep, Jacobson just got a little bit caught watching the ball too much.
75 seconds. Knights trailing by 2. Good look. Working it back up top.
Three-pointer by Rumbaugh.
No good.
Again,
a minute to play. The Knights have to get a stop here.
Don't know if that was the shot that the Knights really wanted.
.15 on the shot clock. Great defensive play. Rumbaugh with the give ahead. And the basket good for McGuigan. 39 seconds, and we are tied at 62 apiece.
They're trying to go down low again to Myers. And a turnover
off the hands of Chris Conway. The Knights can hold for the last shot with the opportunity to win. Tony Caputo wants to draw something up.
And you see the difference there between Coach Caputo and Coach Hunter. Coach Hunter was trying to get him to get down the floor, catch the Knights in a defensive transition or lack of defensive transition. Coach Caputo wants the timeout now. Make sure that everybody understands exactly what they're going to be doing offensively.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the biggest thing, get the last shot.
Get the last shot. Do not let York have extra chances.
Yeah.
Even if it's a heave from three-quarters court, you do not want that to happen.
You want the worst-case scenario to be overtime, not the worst-case scenario to be they get to control their own fate.
So you take the shot with about 7 seconds left. or getting into your shot with 7 seconds left. That way you can have a tip in. It's not going to be an offensive rebound, pump fake, go back up. You're looking for a tip in. Worst case scenario happens, you go to overtime.
Boy, we've had a few overtimes recently.
We have had a few overtimes recently. Let's hope that this isn't a trend where we go 1 overtime, 2 overtimes, 3 overtimes. Triple overtime would not be something that I think either team would enjoy.
Well, as was mentioned earlier, classes are over, finals week coming up. I'm sure the Knights would love to go home, tuck this one away, and then focus on their studies and Christmas. But boy, there's 25.8 seconds is going to seem like an eternity between now and then. We are underway. Anders Jacobson advancing into the front court. Coach Caputo holding him off.
And with the new rules, there is no 5-second closely guarded.
Looking for a clear out there. Didn't look like they got what they wanted. Beatty goes baseline, pulls up. Got it! 1.9 seconds left. David Beatty. Ice water in that man's veins. Are you kidding me? We have talked about mid-range jumpers not being in the repertoire of so many players, but on what looked like a broken offensive play, goes down low to Beatty, who just elevates and bottoms it out. 64-62, 2.5 seconds left on the clock. They didn't follow the cardinal rule of get the last shot, but you can't argue too much with that.
No, like you said, it looked like a broken play. You had to go ahead and try to go and create something. David did a fantastic job of creating his open shot. They're a little fade away from the baseline. Like you said, able to elevate and go over. Now 2.5 seconds. The Knights have to make sure that they throw it in the backcourt, not let a long pass go down to the front court. And if the pass does go into the front court, make sure no fouls.
Do not foul. Absolutely do not foul. A hotly contested game. It's, you know, we
and
said,
again, someone's going to go home disappointed.
I was just going to say, at the Marymount game, we said both teams feel like they should win this, and both teams very justifiably do. No one's gotten blown out in this game, Mike. But only one team gets the W, one team gets the L. Which team is going to feel robbed?
It looks like they're setting up like Duke set up a long time ago. Someone at the high post, that would be number 34, Dalton Myers. Any type of pass that goes into him, they have to make sure that they guard that. So here's
there's a pretty famous college basketball shot where they didn't do that, I guess, right?
Exactly. Here's the dilemma now that Coach Caputo has to set up right now. Does he put someone on the inbounder, or does he double team somebody? Again,
it'll bite you either way. Whichever one you do, if it works, you're a genius, and if not, you're a fool. So
exactly,
it's really tough to make that call.
I think if it was me, I may put David Beatty in a center fielder position.
Yeah.
And just tell him, go and just touch the ball. Just touch the ball. That's all you got to do. That does leave the inbounder open to run the baseline and to make a unpressured pass. But again, all you got to do is touch the ball, knock it out of bounds. Some time comes off the clock, and then you get to reset your defense again.
Yeah, well, and Beatty's got 2 fouls. He's got room to give just in case. You hate for that to happen, but it's there. He's got the height. He's got the athleticism. I think he's probably maybe the best pure athlete out here that's going to essentially play wide receiver for
exactly.
Defensive back, as it were.
And what you try to do is just make sure that nothing gets behind you. Now with someone off the ball, there you go. Throw it in right there.
And David Beatty did just that and touched it.
And he got the timeout. I don't know who called the timeout, though. Again, a coach cannot call a timeout.
That was very tight on possession as well. It kind of seemed deflected off the hands.
And Coach Caputo is arguing that he really didn't have possession. And again, who called the timeout?
If you noticed, Mike, and I hate to say it, one of the referees indicated who called the timeout. He said, timeout.
Coach. Well, that cannot happen. Again,
I understand that. I understand that. And that's what's very interesting. It was very clear, that symbol of who called that. Coach Caputo saying, please don't put time on the clock.
0.2 of a second.
1.3.
And again, I believe in playing by the rules that you have to play with. These referees have to play by those same rules too. I understand it's new for them. It's something that's going to take some adjustment period for them, but they have to understand that coach cannot call a timeout in live ball in NCAA men's basketball.
Well, and we're all learning. As you mentioned before, we're all learning, but that's pretty easy to overturn, isn't it?
It should be.
And it's bad enough when the last game we weren't sure with Marymount. I actually went back and reviewed it afterwards. It was very clear. Number 4 stood there, did not do a thing. And now Coach Caputo wants to call a timeout, which he can because it's dead ball.
Yes.
But yeah, you got to know. It's so frustrating, especially when they symbol. And there was, again, the symbol. When the referee goes like that, that's the coach calling a timeout.
So here's the dilemma Coach Caputo's in. If I was York, we'd be running a screen to screener and a slip to the basket. Usually the one that slips to the basket is going to be the one that's open. So you have to make sure that you talk, and I would get into a defense where you can switch every screen.
Oh, yeah.
That way you always keep the ball in front of you. You don't get hung up on any screens. Or Coach Caputo could do even one step further and go into a zone.
Well, this is the second time he's seen a play and then taken the timeout to draw something up to respond to it. The question for me is, if you're the York coach, do you mind game it a little bit and say, okay, well, he saw what we were doing, we're going to change it up? Or do you say, okay, we're going to keep what we're doing and just give you a little more time to talk about it?
I think you keep what you're doing. Usually the coaches that try to outthink themselves come up on the short end of the stick.
They outthink themselves.
Yeah, they outthink themselves, and it confuses their players. So we want to make sure, if you're a coach, you have a specific set call. Stay with it unless there's a total change in the defense. Now they're going to put Kel Thornton up on the ball. Good idea in the half court. Kel's a big body.
1.3. Almost a 5
There's a lob.
And Beatty breaks it up. David Beatty breaks up the pass.
Play in the center field.
Exactly like you called it, Mike. And that is the win.
Tried to slip the screener to the basket. The Knights were able to sniff it out. Kel Thornton was a huge asset up on the ball that time.
Absolutely. Mike, we're not going to overtime.
We're not going to overtime.
I don't know what's going on here.
And even more importantly, the Knights go to 2-0 in the conference. They do have games coming up on the 15th at Ferrum and then on the 18th at Wesley. Again, the big key is win your games at home.
Man, 64-62, the Knights take down the Spartans. We have a interview right here with head coach Tony Caputo. The fans going crazy here. We'll have an interview with here in just a second. I believe he's going to bring a player with him, David Beatty, who came up huge, who came up with the two-pointer on the baseline to give the Knights a lead, and then the key tip in the end, Mike Harmon with Tony Caputo.
We won't keep you long, Coach Caputo. We just want to say congratulations. Starting 2-0 in the conference, how huge is that in trying to get to your ultimate goal of getting into the Capital Conference tournament?
We basically said we've got to defend our home court. So this game feels great. That little play we ran at the end, we've never ran. And I was just watching film last night, and I thought, we're going to save this just in case. And we've never ran it. We just drew it up over there, and David came through, and then David came through on that other end with the tip. I couldn't be happier. But it was a heck of a team effort.
Well, we're very happy that you didn't go to overtime in this one.
Yeah.
It saves some wear and tear on your heart. It saves some wear and tear on the players. But you do have another game coming up, the 18th, another conference game. We know you played Ferrum earlier than that, but you go on up to Wesley. What are you looking for there?
Well, it'll be a lot faster-paced game because they're very athletic and they really get after you hard up there. So it won't be a game where we're probably able to run a lot of stuff. It's going to be a game where we just got to move the ball and try to attack their pressure because you can attack or be attacked. So
well, we won't see you again until after we get back from the Christmas break, but we do want to congratulate you on the 2-0 start in the conference. We know that you were picked to come in last, and you're just showing everybody what your Knights are made of.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And now we'll get David Beatty in. We talked to him earlier in the season, and we're going to talk to him in our last broadcast for this semester. So, David, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Coach.
Hey, let's put that down a little bit so everybody can hear your wonderful voice.
Alrighty.
All right, so David, not going into overtime. How does that feel?
I'm feeling good. I'm not as tired.
Not as tired. Congratulations again. Your team starting out 2-0 in the conference. Huge boost. Yep. Defending your home court, we've talked about that a lot as being part of the things that you have to do if you want to get to the conference tournament. What are some things that you feel that this team has turned around to make sure that you're going to defend your home court?
Defense.
Defense?
First, we only gave up 62 points today. That's one thing our coaches really harped on us for the past couple of days at practice. It's just defense, getting stops. We need to, and it turned out good today. We it was a slow game. They wanted to slow it down. They didn't want us to get up tempo and on them and stuff. And our defense just came through. They had 38 points at halftime and only gave up 24 in the second half. So defense, our guys, we play hard. We play defense. It's just fun playing. Well,
you're showing that y'all can play multiple styles, which is going to make you a very dangerous team as you go further into the conference. So I know earlier I put you on the spot as far as are you going to make the Capital Conference tournament?
Yeah.
You emphatically said yes. I think that may have done some attitude adjustments for some of your teammates because they are all playing in that same urgent way of we've got to make it to the conference tournament, maybe to show that they are not the 10th place team. Do you think that might be a little bit of inspiration?
Oh, ever since we played Marymount on Wednesday, our whole mindset was, they voted us 10th place, and that's to us, that's disrespectful. And we know we're much better than that, and we're going to prove it each and every game, home and away, and we're just going to keep doing what we have to do. And it's just the beginning. We're still 3-4. We're 2-0, but we just want to keep going. We want to keep proving to these teams that they made a mistake voting us 10th.
Well, we won't see you again until next semester. We know you have a game against Ferrum, an out-of-conference game, and we wish you luck with that. We really wish you luck with Wesley because even though it's great to win out-of-conference games, the conference is the most important, and we would love to see you back here with a 3-0 record in the conference next semester.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, David. Have a great Christmas.
All right, you too, Coach.
And so there we are with Coach Caputo and David Beatty. Great drama here in the barn in the last couple games for the men, not having to go to overtime, but still a very hotly contested game, and defense brought the win home.
Well, and I'll tell you, the number one message for me, if you are in the Buena Vista area and we are having a men's basketball game, you have to be here. This environment has been crazy the last few games, some amazing wins. It's fun, and it's free.
And it's free.
And if you're not in the Buena Vista area,
tune in.
We do all these broadcasts for you. Amazing. I've gone back and watched some already. Just so much fun. What an amazing effort and a great start to a season for the Knights.
It has been. And again, defending your home court during the conference season is the number one thing you have to do if you want to make it to the conference tournament. And the Knights so far are perfect at it.
So far. We'll see how that goes the rest of the season. David Beatty last time announcing here on this broadcast the Knights would be in the CAC tournament this year. Follow their quest to do that, folks. Again, the final score, Southern Virginia 64, the York College Spartans 62. It's just amazing. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Have a great broadcast. We'll see you next time.